This is music, and this is a bunch of songs that I checked out on YouTube. As most of you know, I prefer listening to music on physical music media. I'm that old school, like CDs, cassettes, and vinyl records. But I'm not adverse to listening to music on digital formats. I do have an old school iPod, and I enjoy listening to that when I'm out and about. And also, I'm not adverse to checking out music through streaming if I want to check out some new songs and stuff. And that's what I did here. I checked out some songs on YouTube, and I just wanted to share with you my impressions of them. I'll place links in the description below and all that good stuff. So first we have a bunch of songs by Axemaster. And these songs were uploaded to Christopher Michael's YouTube channel. Christopher Michael was in the original lineup, and he was on the first album, Blessing in the Skies. And he is also an artist and a person that I have just a lot of respect for. And he seems to be a really, really, really nice guy too. One thing that's cool about these songs is that they're unreleased Axemaster songs. So the first one is Live by the Sword. It's a really cool song. It's really groovy. It kind of builds on a groovy main riff. And I really like the beginning where the riff is just played on the bass. That's always a cool way to introduce a song. The vocals are your Christopher Michael style gruff vocals, but I really like him in this song. They fit the song. So like I said, it's an unreleased song. As far as I understand, it was supposed to be on the follow-up album to Blessing in the Skies, which never came into being. And it's also a bit of a rarity in the early Axemaster catalog because it was composed by Christopher Michael and Brian Henderson. So that makes it interesting too. And the footage of this video is from a certain decapitation-centric movie. And the audio from the movie footage is retained, so you have clashing swords and stuff on top of the music, and actually they fit the music quite well. So really cool song. The next one is Marching into Madness. I think this is a kick-ass song. It has an overall menacing feel to it, and there's some really, really cool up-tempo parts that are borderline power thrash to me, and they stand in a really interesting contrast with some more kind of military style marchy left, right, left kind of parts. Here you also have your gruff vocals, but they obviously fit the song perfectly because you can imagine that it's a drill sergeant yelling at you. So excellent choice of vocals there. There's a really cool breakdown just before the solo too. And this song is really interesting because it was, as far as I understand, it was actually composed in 2007 when the original Axemaster lineup had a bit of a reunion, and they wrote, I think, 7 or 8 songs that were never released. And I also understand that this is an anti-war song, which explains the military parts of it. Great song, really like that song. Next, On Resting Place. It's another really cool, groovy Axemaster song. The groovy riff is very different from the groovy riff of Live by the Sword. So that's cool, that's interesting too. And there's a cool little bass lick just before the verse. Check it out, see if you can detect it. I'm sure you can. There's some fast parts too, and fans of Sanctuary will be interested to hear that, at least to my ears, the kind of main riff of the fast parts reminds me a little bit of Future Tense by Sanctuary. And that's a huge compliment. This is another one of the 2007 songs. And the last Axemaster song I checked out was The Mask of Red Death. This is an unfinished song, and you can hear that. It's a bit rough around the edges. But I can imagine that the finished version would have been so awesome because this song has some progressive things going on. That would have been really interesting. It also features some Edgar Allan Poe poetry, as far as I understand. So here's hoping that the original Axemaster lineup will be able to get together again and finish off whatever needs to be finished off in terms of, unfinished songs, record that stuff, re-record the 2007 songs, and release all of that stuff on maybe an Axemaster album, or maybe do like Rage did when they did the side project Solitary Men with a previous version of the band, and they put out some stuff. They could do that, Axemaster. It would just be cool if they got together, put out these songs. So from some US metal to some Danish brutal death metal. Blodrus, Slaughter Them All. I checked out their song. Brutal death metal. Full disclosure, my cousin plays the drums in that band, so yes, there is a sense of family pride here. It's brutal death metal. They pummel you with blast beats, but you have some cool heavy parts too. So there's a nice contrast there. And the chorus is even kind of groovy, and I like that too. I do like groovy death metal. So it's kind of nice that they managed to combine the blasty stuff, the heavy stuff, and the groovy stuff. It's actually a great song. It's a no-nonsense song too. They're not wasting time on guitar solos. Some songs don't need guitar solos, so not having a guitar solo, I think, was the artistically appropriate choice. My cousin told me that they're working, I think, on an EP, so I will keep you updated on that. So, great song, Slaughter Them All. I also checked out Rain on the Graves by Bruce Dickinson from the Mandrake Project. I think that album is out now. I actually really like the video itself. It's kind of like an old school, like maybe 80s music video where, the videos also kind of told a story. I think that was pretty cool. I like the aesthetics of the video. It's very theatrical, and it seems a bit like a period piece because you have like period costumes and period mock costumes. I'm guessing 16th, 17th, 18th century perhaps. So I just like the look of the video. It's very cool. Also kind of humorous, I think. Bruce Dickinson does some fun facial expressions in parts of the video. I think the song itself is kind of heavy. It's kind of groovy too. It's one of those songs that have lots of starts and stops, that kind of dynamic, and it has your cool Bruce Dickinson style chorus. I have to say, I think Bruce's voice sounds great on this song. I think it sounds better than on the previous two Maiden albums, and I like those albums. Love the Book of Souls. I love Senjutsu. I don't care what anybody says. I like them. I just think Bruce's voice sounds even better on this song. It's a cool song. I do prefer the Afterglow of Ragnarok, but this song and the Afterglow of Ragnarok were enough to actually make me order the Mandrake Project. It's part of an order with a pre-order item in it too. I think it's the Judas Priest album, so I don't have it yet, but it's on the way, I guess. Okay, up next, a song that's kind of divisive apparently. Idle Hands by Kerry King. I've heard some weird rumors about this song. I've heard that the cover art was made using a generative AI. I can't imagine that being true because that's a bland piece of cover artwork. I've also heard that the song was composed using a generative AI. I don't think that's the case, but I can kind of see the logic behind it, because while it is a very solid thrash metal song, it has some really cool riffs. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It is a little bit derivative. And the way a lot of generative AIs work is that they're trained on stuff that's out there already. And then they generate something that's based on what they're trained on. So it will always be derivative. It will always be a little bit empty, if you know what I mean. I don't think that's the case here, but I don't know. What I will say is I like the song. It's not my favorite song. It hasn't got me really excited about the upcoming album, but I think it's solid, and I do enjoy it. And I will say that you got some solos in the song, and there's a riff just before those solos, and I actually think that's a very cool riff. I actually quite like that. A lot of people have trashed the vocals. When I heard the song first, I thought, wait a minute, did he persuade Tom Araya to sing? And then I realized it sounds like Mark from Death Angel. And it turns out it is Mark from Death Angel. Now, people have criticized the vocals for trying to sound like Tom Araya. Once you hear that it's Mark, you hear that it's Mark, right? And I really like the vocals. They're my favorite part of the song. Again, I don't care what anybody else says. I really like the vocals. I do like the song, but the vocals are my favorite part. But I'm also a fan of Death Angel, and I really like Mark's singing style. And I think he made the artistic choice that this singing style on this song was the most fitting singing style. That's what I speculate. I've seen Death Angel live, and he's a fantastic vocalist. So, Idle Hands, solid song. I enjoy it. My favorite part is the vocals. I'm not excited, but I'm not dismissive either. I'm not excited about the upcoming Kerry King album, but I'm a little bit curious. So, up next, an entire EP. And I was kind of inspired by Nasty Boy Scott from the No Solution channel, because he reviewed this EP in a video not too long ago, and he did not like it. We're talking Warrior Life by an artist called LVictoria, or LVictoria, and Nasty Boy Scott did not like this EP, and that got me kind of curious. I figured maybe I should check it out myself. And I have to say, I fully understand Nasty Boy Scott there. This is not good, I think, in my opinion. So you got 4 songs on it. The first one is called Power to the Rock. It purports, I think, to be a hard rock song, but it's just really boring to me. The vocals, I think, are really bad, and they sound off-key in places. The lyrics are kind of hollow. They're kind of, to me, they sound like they're just a list of empty rock cliches and rock tropes. And these lyrics, I'm not saying that's the case, but these lyrics do have the kind of weird hollow nature that lyrics generated by generative AIs have. They're just empty, full of what rock tropes, kind of nonsensical. Don't like this song. Power to the Rock is totally powerless to my ears. And the next one is called NR City. This one is a bit more of a late 80s, early 90s, borderline groove, borderline alt rock metal. At least that's the approach it takes. But so it does have some potential, I think. But again, the vocals are so bad, I think, that I can't enjoy the song. And especially, there's kind of a bridge. I think it's supposed to be more of an atmospheric kind of thing, but the vocals are just so terrible. It's kind of like slightly off key all the time, annoying. That's where the song falls completely apart. And again, the lyrics seem kind of cliched, nonsensical. She even just mentions Jackson guitars randomly. Is that product placement? I don't know. As far as I understand, LVictoria at least claims to be endorsed by, is it Jackson Guitars, by one of the big guitar companies. Don't know if it's true. Don't care, actually. So this is a bad song too, I think, but it's the least bad song on the EP, but that doesn't make it a good song. So the next one is called Double Edge, and according to rumor, Dave Ellefson, formerly of Megadeth, co-wrote this song. I think it's an attempt at making a Kid Rock style rap song. I think that's bad enough in itself. If you like Kid Rock, via Candias. I don't have a problem with you. That's not what I'm saying. It fails miserably even at that. Okay, I think it's terrible. And again, a lot of it has to do with the vocals. Now, I'm gonna just say this. I think LVictoria is a bad singer. She's an even worse rapper. Gotta be honest. Another problem is that the drum beat itself, I think, is weak. It might have worked with a kind of a powerful, like old school, fight the power style drum beat, but this one just lacks the bottom and the aggression. Kind of lacks the energy and kind of the bass part that what I think really cool rap drum beats have. So the drum beat is kind of weak as well. There is an interesting bridge with some Middle Eastern kind of vibes to it, which could have been interesting. I'll give the song that, but again, the vocals are awful. They ruin an already pretty bad song, but they even ruin the potentially interesting part of a bad song. So that's Double Edge. Terrible song. The last one is called Done With You. And I think it's an attempt at doing kind of a empowered woman song, like Man, I Feel Like a Woman, like the Shania Twain song, which I actually think is a good song. But again, this song is just weak. It has a bit of is it a Buddy Holly did a couple of songs with the kind of a feel to him. So, and I have nothing against that feel, but it just doesn't work in this song, I think. And again, the vocals, I think they're just bad. And the lyrics, again, they seem cliched. And I have to say, this song kind of made me suspect something. The song feels like a parody on songs like Man, I Feel Like a Woman. And I'm thinking, is Warrior Life, is this just a parody? Because if this EP is a parody, it's a masterpiece. But if it's intended to be a serious piece of work, I think it's failed miserably. I don't like this EP at all. If you like it, it's fine. You know, we like what we like. I think Nasty Boy Scott said he even got kind of angry that he had to that he wasted his time listening to this. I have to say I wasn't angry. I was mildly amused by it, but I couldn't even enjoy this EP ironically. Like those of us who were young in the 90s, we had this way of enjoying bad stuff ironically. I couldn't even do that. Warrior Life is no good to me. If you want to check it out for sure. And up last, I needed something interesting after this. So I watched, and I had seen this one before, but I decided to watch it again. A song called Vanitas by a Japanese band called Release Hallucination. This is also female fronted, but this is great stuff. It's a progressive metal song. It's a modern progressive metal song, so it's really heavy. You got some extreme metal parts in it as well every now and then, and some blast beats, and that's intertwined with really melodic choruses, more akin to Japanese power metal. I think that the lady who sings, I don't know her name, but I think she has a pretty cool voice. It works best in the choruses, I think, her singing, but overall I think her singing is very good. There's some symphonic elements to it as well, so it's a bit of a musical journey, and you have some great instrumental bits too. So you have an entire instrumental section where you just have solos across the board, bass solos, keyboard solos, guitar solos, and it's all in the progressive metal style. Soloing, you have some odd time signature breakdowns too, all the stuff we know and love, or at least I know and love, from kind of Dream Theater style progressive metal. So this is a really, really cool song. I definitely want to check out Release Hallucination more. They're a bit of a mysterious band to me though, but this song made me want to go on a progressive metal kick again, so I might do that in the near future. Just listen to lots of Dream Theater, lots of Vigilante, lots of Fate's Warning, all that good stuff. So Vanitas, I think that was a great song. If you like progressive metal, do check out that song. So yeah, this was me blabbing on for more than 20 minutes about some songs I checked out on YouTube. Do check them all out. The Axemaster ones, really interesting, unreleased material, worth checking out. Blodrus, my cousin is in the band. Do my family a favor and check out that song. Rain in the Graves by Bruce Dickinson made me pick up the album, or at least order it. Don't have it yet. Idle Hands by Kerry King. Solid. I prefer the vocals. That's my favorite part of it. LVictoria, Warrior Life. Not saying anything about that. And Release Hallucinations, Vanitas. Great progressive metal song. So there you go. Thanks for watching.